Hey guys, sweater weather is officially here. It's my favorite time of year. So let's settle into cooler weather with cuddly sweaters, easy to wear blazers, and super soft materials from Loft. Loft has really cute and trendy pieces. And I know I'm talking about fall right now, but Loft also has pieces that touch on all the seasons. They know the most relevant trends and they are always offered at such a great price. So make sure you guys check them out. There are fun pant silhouettes to choose from. They have flirty tops, they have midi skirts, they have sweater dresses, and fun outerwear that's just so perfect for fall. This season, Loft is offering easy to mix and match layering options to style with all your favorite outfits. They have such great additions to add to your fall wardrobe, like puffer coats, the collared cardigan, the top coat, and my favorite, the duster cardigan. So I've picked up a couple of these cardigans and I absolutely love them. They're fashionable and functional for all the winters here in Jersey, which we all know how those get. This holiday season, Loft can be your go-to check everybody off your list destination. Give gifts galore, both in-store and online. Shop a mix of their gifts that are all under $35, festive finds, and merry sweaters. So here's the deal. As a thank you for listening, from now through December 31st, 2023, use code Melissa at loft.com to receive $25 off your full price purchase. That's right. From now until December 31st, use code Melissa at loft.com to receive $25 off your full price purchase. Exclusions apply. See podcast description for terms. Let me ask you about your husband. Is he like, why did I allow you to sign up for this?
Like one of the things we were talking about the other day, he's like, if I ever hear again about Jessel and her fucking sex life.
What's up, everyone? I'm super, super excited for this episode. I have another East Coaster in the house. She's one of the new members of the Real Housewives of New York. And she and I just really kind of hit it off because I feel like we do have a lot in common. So I'm super excited to have Miss Erin Lichy in the house today. What's up?
Thank you for having me. Good to see you.
How are you? Are you in New York?
I'm good. I'm in New York. Going to Mexico on Thursday. I'm excited for that.
Beautiful. Getting away.
Yeah, it's Abe's 40th, so we're going to celebrate.
Oh my God, he's turning 40. Nice.
He turned 40, but this is just like a better time to go away in October. His birthday's in the spring, and I feel like everyone's so busy, so we decided to postpone it till now.
Awesome. Are you guys going with a bunch of friends? Or are you doing like family?
20 people, friends, all friends.
Friends, like couples.
Couples, yeah.
Woo, wild. So much fun. I feel like Joe and I do like couples things for we literally just went to Italy alone this summer, but we're big like vacations with couples. We do it like constantly. It just makes it more fun, right? It's like
so much fun. And it's also like everyone's so busy now with kids and work that you can't like connect with your friends like that unless you're on a trip, and you're with them for 3 days, like in the sun. That's like the most fun. So we love that.
Well, speaking of busy, I'm sure this was one of your busiest years you've had in a really long time filming this reality show, and just with everything airing, I have to ask you, like, how are you feeling? Like, do you have any regrets? Is it obviously you've watched Housewives before, right? I mean, you've seen the show. You and I, first, let me give a little background to people. Erin and I have met already. What did we do together? We did something with E! News. What was that?
There was like E! News was covering the Met Gala.
Yes.
We both sat in the audience and we just like sat next to each other and drank champagne and had fun.
We had fun. I liked you a lot. And one of the things that you had said to me, because you and I had time to like run for a quick drink after, because, we had like a minute. You had said to me, which I didn't really know you yet, right? But I feel like you might have known me a little bit just from the show and whatever. You were like, I think I'm kind of like you. I'm more of like a level-headed normal one. And you said that. And then watching you, I'm going to have to agree with you. I think that you are. And I do think we actually have a lot in common. I love the way that you are with your husband. I do love the way you are as a mother. Like, you kind of do it all. You work, you got it all going on. You have a lot of things. You're a juggler, as I am. So I didn't really know you in the beginning, probably the way that you knew me. Right. So now I'm going to have to agree with your statement.
Well, I just think it's like nice when you watch these shows and it's not all like, wild behavior and like attacking, and you say what you think, and it might be controversial, but you know, you're honest and you're still like grounded, you know, and you still have morals. So I think a lot of times you see, like, especially on reality TV, just like such craziness to get attention and to get reaction. Whereas, I don't know, I think it's a nice like grounding force to have someone that doesn't need to do that all the time.
It is. It really is. And I love that you say it like that, because that is what a lot of, especially like a newbie coming around, or people think, they think like, let me do something so crazy and like out of my comfort zone that I would never do to like make a splash. And then it always falls flat because the viewers end up realizing that's not who you are. You're doing things for attention. Like you're crossing your morals, right? And it's refreshing to see someone on the show who is like, yeah, I don't care who's here or what cameras are in the room. I'm going to do me and I'm going to answer this the way I would answer it, whether or not you like the answer or not. And I'm not trying to get the big reaction. I'm just keeping it real. And I do see that from you a lot. I actually think that you are a fan favorite. Are you hearing that in these streets? Because I mean, I know from a lot of my girlfriends personally, maybe because you're just our type, you definitely, everyone loves Erin. Everybody loves Erin. So you're doing something right.
I feel like all the girls like us, like, relate to me, you know.
We have our own set of fans.
Yeah, like I just think like the like grounded, you know what I mean? Like I think like obviously people are gonna relate more to Brynn that are single and like, you know, that are living that. But I don't know. I think it's interesting too. And I think like some people will love the one that's outrageous, right? The one that
makes good TV.
We need that too. You know, we need all of like the different players. So yeah, but I feel good. I feel good about where I am. There are some things I would take back, obviously, when you watch back. There are some things that I would like, I feel like, and you can tell me from your experience, I feel like sometimes when somebody has a certain feeling, you can get roped into that feeling, like on the show. Do you know what I mean? Like about someone else, especially when you're filming and like everything's heightened. So like you start hearing something about someone else. And at least for me, this was the first time I ever did this. You start believing it and you're like, well, maybe that's true. And then you start treating them differently because of it. Like at least that's what would happen to me. So going into my next season, if we get one, I think I would be a lot more careful in making sure that like, okay, like I have these opinions on my own. And like, it's not just from like me reacting to the rest of like the group. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, because you kind of get sucked in, especially if you're like kumbayaing with one girl or one cast member and they're telling you all their issues with the other girl, which happens often, especially if there's cocktails involved. And you start to be like, yeah, I think I noticed that about her too. And you don't even realize that you're in a way being two-faced, right? And you're in a way agreeing with something that you really don't even totally agree with, but you want to kind of be in the moment with this other person and connect with them. And you end up kind of feeling wishy-washy at the end of it, or especially when you watch it back. And it's trust me, girlfriend, that's how it goes. It's very normal. It's like, it's one of those things where that's Housewives, and that's what's the emotions, and they go up and they go down. And then, you know, it is about a group of friends, right? And girlfriends that spend a lot of time together, or they spend this 5-6 months together. And it's kind of just like navigating the ups and downs of like relationships. And it's interesting. I mean, how do you feel you came across? Like, what are your thoughts on your first season?
So I think I came across pretty much myself. Except for a couple of things that happened, like when we were in Anguilla and I went to Jenna's house. I brought her soup. She told me about all like her like dental surgery. I mean, watching back, I saw like all these insecurities that she had, but in the moment, I didn't really know. You know, like I was just getting to know her, and I didn't fully understand like how awful she felt based on her like genetic disorder. And also, what people don't know is that everyone knew she flew first. Like, I just thought I was going to come on and deliver it on camera and be like, oh, and by the way, she flew first. Like, and it would be like silly and cute, but it came off like I was throwing her under the bus and like, but everyone had already known this. It wasn't like I was giving anyone new information. I was just delivering it on camera.
Right.
So like that sort of thing is confusing because like in the real world, it wasn't what it looked like, but you have to live in TV world. Like you have to live in like, well, no one's seen this, you know?
It's heightened. It gets heightened. Everything is like, you're looking at people's lives through a magnifying glass when we're watching reality TV, right? So it's like things that seem like everyday life then turn into like this big thing. You're like, wait, what did I say? What did I do? And I really didn't mean it like that. But I mean, that's the beauty of it all. Then you get to explain yourself and it turns into like a whole thing. So what happened? She was the only one that flew first class, correct? Is that what ended up?
The reason why everyone was like so flustered by it was because Brynn was in St. Bart's. She basically had to fly back so that she could fly with us because that was like part of the deal, right? We were all flying together. Right. We weren't flying first because I guess there was no budget. I was told there were no first class seats. I don't know why I believed that story.
Girl, you got to put that in your contract next time.
No, now I know. Let me tell you. But we were all like, whatever, it's fine. Like we'll be together. And then like when we found out that she was able to go early, fly first, like it just felt like differential treatment, basically.
I get it. Yes.
What was going on? It wasn't that like I wasn't trying to defend her and her like, genetic disorder and her insecurities. I didn't even realize how insecure she really was until I watched the show back. But what it was about was that like I don't think in that moment I honored the situation with her like the way I should have. And I should have delivered it like, listen, I was just there. She's going through a really hard time. She's had all this dental work. But she also ended up flying first. But I didn't preface it. And I think that and plus I don't ever want to hurt my friends. And if that hurt her feelings, I learned from it.
If you're a mom, you already know there's the standard lines that you're always going to find yourself saying to your kids. Go make your bed, stop fighting with your brother, and make sure you drink enough water. You don't have to be an athlete to need extra hydration throughout your day. From Zoom meetings and workouts to long travel days and fun nights out, Liquid IV makes it easy to stay hydrated. I know it's been a lifesaver for me so many times, guys, you have no idea. With 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness, Liquid IV hydrates twice as fast than water alone, all in one single stick. And now their hydration multiplier comes in 3 delicious sugar-free flavors: white peach, green grape, and lemon lime. What I love about them is they're so easy to just throw in my purse. I recently just went to BravoCon. I was popping them in my waters all day and all night. They're amazing and they really do help hydrate you. Grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier, sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Melissa at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today by using code Melissa at liquidiv.com. Okay, so you want to know one of my favorite compliments? It's where did you get that? We all want to stay stylish this holiday season. Uncommon Goods is your secret weapon to do just that. They make your holiday shopping stress-free by searching the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. I found these candles, guys, that are shaped like little Christmas stockings. I'm crazy. I know I'm already buying Christmas stuff, but I love holiday decor and they have so many cute, unique pieces. I also found these really cute like mitts for the oven, and they're so cute and unique. I can definitely tell I'll be doing so much of my holiday shopping there. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. These fine products are often made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. That's what I love. Not everyone's gonna have it, and they're really special pieces. From the art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Melissa. That's uncommongoods.com/Melissa for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. It comes across like you and Jenna are actually like girlfriends outside of the show too. Are you? Do you see the girls outside of the show? Would you say you're closest with her, or who are you closest to?
I absolutely love Jenna. We got very close over the summer and I trust her. And that's very hard to come by. I do not trust really anyone else.
Well, that's everything, just so you know. Like, especially on these reality shows, it's all about trust. It's not even necessarily the person. It's weird because I think people would be shocked at who I say who I trust on my show. Like, it's not necessarily, you're going to ask me now, right? Dolores.
I could
Dolores. Yeah. Like Dolores and I, like, it's not that you would see us cuddle up 24/7 or see us running around. But if I had to choose who I trust to no end on the show, it's Dolores. Like, right. And that's like, cause we have a mutual respect about things like that. Her and I are like very similar when it comes to things like that. So I know that I can trust Dolores in a certain aspect. And that's huge when you know that there's someone that you can actually say something to. Then you say to them, don't repeat this on the show or to this girl or to that girl. They're going to hold it and not repeat it. I feel like that's huge.
I think honestly, like ultimately Sai, if I told her not to say it, I don't know, actually, she likes to gossip, but I don't know. I mean, look, I went in kind of like trusting everybody and left being like, I should have never trusted anyone in this, like, because I've been so disappointed, and not even on camera, like off camera as well, which is the most disappointing. Cause it's like, you're just not trustworthy. Like this has nothing to do with TV. Like you're just not a trustworthy friend at all, you know? Right.
And that's when like the press comes into play. You hear things in the press. You'll hear things on pod. This is what I deal with all the time. Like you think that like you guys are friends or you're close with someone, and then they say something in the press. They do something at BravoCon. They say something on a panel. And you're like, what and it's really hard because then you enter into a new season.
Like I have friends since I'm like 2 years old. Like I'm still close with my friends from high school, from college. It's just like, I'm not used to this kind of like one up, like, let's do whatever we can to make sure that like I'm the best. And the other thing that really sucks is like seeing, and I won't name names, certain people that will like gravitate towards the one who like is more popular in that episode. Like that is really whack.
It's so whack. It's so annoying. You know, but you know what I will say about that, and I agree with you. We definitely have people on our show who, if they starting to feel, and especially this season, if they're starting to feel less than, or like they're not getting enough air time of some sort, they'll just gravitate the complete other way because they're like, well, this will get me like air time. And it's the most frustrating thing when it comes to Housewives, but I think that's what makes the show go around also. Yeah. It's frustrating. But I will say that you do come off, and I'm being honest when I tell you this, like you do not play it up for the cameras. You're very chill in every scene. You don't look like you're trying to like, just do the things for reactions. Like you do come off very authentic. And I think that has a longevity where, these like people will do these big things and act, but what sticks with people and what makes you the most relatable is definitely when, it's just your calm, non-reactive. Like it's not that you don't react, but like you have a certain thing about you to make you look like you're not playing it up for the cameras. You look very natural, which is huge. And I feel like makes an awesome housewife when someone's just natural,
I think like looking back, I'm like, I should have thought it through a little bit more. I should have played things up more. I should have been like more strategic, but I just didn't come into this like with like a PR agenda. It was more just like, okay, let's just, I don't know. I was like, okay, it's a reality show. Like we actually have to be real. Like I didn't, but I think like looking back, it's almost like, I almost feel like I should have strategized.
No, you don't. No, I mean, listen, it is a chess game. Trust me, it is a game of chess. You'll learn that season 2. I'm sure you guys will have a season 2 because I think you guys did awesome. Let me ask you about your husband. Who, like, is he like, why did I allow you to sign up for this? Like, you've been a raging bitch. This is what all the husbands say, season 1. So I don't know if the New York guys are saying this, but all Jersey guys are like, wait, why did I allow her to do this? She's in a bad mood all the time. She's overworked and underpaid. She's stressed out. She has no time for me anymore. She's always on the phone, always on Instagram. Is this what's happening in your home?
Definitely. And I think like he's so protective that sometimes he's like, I can't believe that they made it. And he's like one of the things we were talking about the other day, he's like, if I ever hear again about Jessel and her fucking sex life, he's like, you do not give a shit. Like, because it's like so stupid and we really don't care about whether she had sex or not. It's just like, it was like constantly brought up. And so like, I think that he just gets like protective and he's like, this is just not really how we are, what like a good representation in certain scenes. But like, yeah, I mean, it's like, we were busy before and now it's like busy times 100.
Of course, because the emails are coming, the phones are ringing. There's a lot more events to go to. And there is a certain like, you know, you got to keep on it. You have to keep up. You do have great girls on your show. By the way, I had Sai come on the show. I love her too. I think she was great. I had her a couple weeks ago on the podcast. She was great. She's a true entrepreneur too, who like really loves to work and is a true influencer. Like, you know, people make fun of influencers or they act like it's not a job, but she legit has a job there with like hired cameras and all of these things. So she makes money off influencing, like huge brands, all of that. So, I mean, Brynn, I haven't met Brynn yet, but I absolutely love watching. I mean, it's fun to watch a single girl, right? Because we can all just live vicariously through a single girl. I do think it's fun to watch a single girl. The other one that I've met in person is Ubah, and I love her. She's just like this tall, gorgeous, like creature walking through the most gorgeous thing. Yeah. And she's fun and easy, and she comes off very happy and like light, you know, that's how
like bonded because we had so much fun together. Like she and I will go out and we will laugh from the minute we step foot anywhere until we go home, you know?
So she's a fun girl.
She's fine. She's just like, we just laugh. Like, I don't know. You know how like some people, you just start laughing with them and then you can't stop. It's like infectious. Yes. Like we both have that with each other. Like she makes me laugh and I make her laugh and then it just like continues. Like we can't stop. So it's cute.
So that's good. Yeah. And then there's Jessel, which by the way, hold on. Is she on the cover of Rolling Stone? Like what did I just see?
She's not on the cover.
Oh, wow. It looks like a cover. I was like, how? Wow. Like that's huge. That's huge. Okay. So she did like an article with Rolling Stone. Mm-hmm. Good for her. That's crazy. So how do you think, like, even with her, I feel like in the beginning, she seemed like maybe like she wasn't going to be in the game as much as the others. And then boom, she was like very, very, very in the game. How is your relationship with her right now?
We're fine. We're good. We're friends. You know, we're not like the closest, but we are friends. I have to say, like, one thing I like about her is she's like me in the sense that she's caring and sensitive. Like if she knows someone's upset, she'll call like 10 times and make sure that you're okay, which is again, rare. So I think like that's a really nice side to her that I haven't seen everybody. Like she'll just make sure that everything's like that you feel okay and that like you're like, we're good. And the other thing that I think she and I do well, like with each other at least, is like if something's coming out or if we know that like we said something wrong on like in the press, like we'll call each other before and be like, by the way, this is happening. This happened. So like, I think it's like a respect thing. And I was
just going to say that's a respect. And like, that's always appreciated because it's like, whether we're besties or not, we're going to respect each other.
Yeah. And I think that she and I have sort of like a mutual respect that like isn't even discussed. Like we just like, we have similar sort of backgrounds in the sense that, like we're very family oriented, close with our parents. Like we both, and you know, it's just like a different thing. And we're both like, we have kids, we're moms with the kids the same age. So I think like we have this sort of unspoken friendship that is developing, but we have gotten closer.
That's funny. That's exactly what I was saying about Dolores, where it's kind of like a mutual respect because of we just like think the same, have the same values. So without seeing us like together in every episode, we just have that like head shake mutual respect. So I totally get that.
I think like with her and I, like I'm so like straightforward and I feel like I know what I'm saying all the time, or like maybe I don't, but I think I do. And like what I'm saying is with purpose. And Jessel will be silly and she'll say like silly things and she'll talk about like Tom Cruise's like, you know, whatever, like going to Tom Cruise's kids' school. And she just says things like that. And I didn't get it at first. I was like, what is this girl talking about? Like I just couldn't figure it out. But I think after a while, it's one of her endearing qualities. And then you start to like enjoy that side of her. Like she's kind of poking fun at herself. Like she, to this day, will sit in front of you and be like, yeah, I made Tribeca popular.
Like she truly feels she may try back, which now it's like kind of funny to you, and it's cute.
It's funny and it's cute, but it takes like a minute for someone like me to fully get that.
Yeah, same. Because because at first you take it like, all right, is she just like, what is this girl? Is she like conceited? Is she bragging? Like, is she going to be one of those? And then, no, I can see that. I think there's a lot of, and I thought it was, as much as we don't want to talk about sex and her and her husband, I do think it was brave of her to admit that on reality television and explain that like a lot of couples would never admit it. I think it happens in so many relationships, by the way. I think people end up being like roommates and best friends, and no one likes to admit it. So the fact that she came out and like really opened herself up, I thought was huge and awesome that she did that, because
I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of couples out there that probably touched home for and was like rooting for them to get it back together, Yeah.
And like, I think that's the other thing, like watching her confessionals, I understood it so much more too. Like what she had gone through. I mean, I didn't know all of that when I was like in person with her. She didn't really open up about it, but I get why it was so hard. It was like a chore. Like sex wasn't enjoyable. It was like a chore. And by the way, everybody feels like that sometimes. Like, like it's normal. It's just normal.
It's but like check it off the list. Like, well, let's check it off the list type thing.
Get it done so that I'm not like harassed like for the next.
Yeah. Why is it that the girls want to check it off the list and the guys want to take their time and enjoy? Can someone explain? Do you have these kind of answers today? Can we turn this into a sex podcast, please? Like why? It's just one of those things.
It's all the time. It's like, I mean, it's constant.
It's like constant.
All Abe tries to do is like,
wait. And you have a nice Jewish boy. You're not even married to an Italian, which tells me it's all men of all calibers everywhere.
He's Cuban, so maybe it's the Cuban side.
Oh, well, there you go. What's up, guys? Fall is here. The holidays are like right around the corner, and that usually means more money is about to be spent. And if you're like me, you're probably going to use your credit cards a little bit more around this time of the year, whether that's for gifts or really just treating yourself, because we all need to do that too, right? I mean, come on. Which is why I want to tell you all about this great credit card, the Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card. With the Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card, there are no annual fees, there's no interest, and no credit check to apply. And that's not all that Chime offers. They also have the Chime checking account, which has no monthly fees, no minimum balance. Plus, if you set up a qualifying direct deposit, you can get paid up to 2 days early. Start building your credit up. Open a Chime checking account with at least a $200 qualifying direct deposit to get started. Get started at chime.com/Melissa. That's chime.com/Melissa. The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by Stride Bank NA, member FDIC. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. This podcast is sponsored by Green Pan. All right, guys, it's fall, and I don't know about you guys, but I cook so much more in the fall. I recently got this beautiful Green Pan slow cooker, which I am so into right now. I literally Google all types of recipes. You guys know my schedule is so hectic. So anything I can put in there in the beginning of the day, and it's done by the time I get home, it's like my absolute new favorite thing. Green Pan has a quiz that guides you to the right choice based on your experience level, how often you cook, and what kind of stovetop you have. Green Pans are free of all forever chemicals, and they've got a 60-day return policy. So toss those plastic pans and upgrade your cookware this holiday season with Green Pan. Head over to greenpan.us and use promo code Melissa, and you'll receive 30% off your entire order, plus free shipping on orders over $99. That's right, 30% off. So head over to greenpan.us and make sure you use our promo code Melissa, or they won't know that we sent you. Hey guys, I want to tell you about a quick podcast study here. As you probably know, we all do our very best to align the right sponsors to the right podcast. It's a lot of work behind the scenes, and all of us are incredibly grateful for your support. We're currently running a quick survey at podcaststudy.com, and we're giving the first 150 people a $10 digital Amazon gift card as an incentive for you guys to go and complete this survey. The information we get from you about our sponsors is very important to the show, and we can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes to help us out. Upon completion of the survey, you'll be asked to include your email address and we'll send the first 150 people a $10 gift card from Amazon. Go to podcaststudy.com and thank you so much again for helping our show and our sponsors. Can I just fill you in that Erin's, how many kids just came home? Three kids just came home and they're taking over the house and she just has to mute us. And I absolutely love it because that's what you are. You're a working mom. That's it. Your kids are home. They do tell me they don't take over the house though when they walk in. Like same, and they don't care who you're on the phone with, what you're doing. They just get loud. It's just
Layla's like opening boxes. Levi's bouncing a basketball.
I know. It's just
screaming in the other room. It's like, oh my God. The minute they walk in, chaos.
Well, it's fine. I hear them. I love it. It's so funny. Wait, I wanted to ask you one thing before we jump into next season or Friends or cast. You know, I saw that everybody totally had a freak out that Ubah's, I guess, Connecticut boyfriend. Yes, because now that we're talking about Jessel and the fact that she's so open, I have to ask, like, Ubah and Jenna keeping things private, right, off camera. How do you feel about that? Like, is it kind of like it comes with the territory that if we have to sacrifice our relationships and tell like, then you have to, like, what do you feel about all of that?
I think the thing about like Ubah's relationship was that it was so new. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I get that. Like, I understand her not wanting it out in the open at that stage.
Right.
You know, because it's like, if it's an established relationship, then it's like weird. Like, then it's not fair. But I think if it's like a new guy, like it changes things a little because it's like, I don't even know where, like, you know what I mean?
You know what? That's a really good perspective because that's true. It's like, yes, we all do it. But if you're with someone for at least a year or something, or you can give it 6 months, but like something so new, you don't want to go like saying it all over the place. So do you think Brynn did that purposely? Like, why do you feel like Brynn did that?
I think that she didn't think it was going to be a big deal to Ubah because I guess Sai knew. The truth is, Sai told her, right? Like, we went out that night. It was all on the show, but like, we went to Casa Cipriani. We actually took Brynn out for her birthday. And like, we had a conversation. We were talking about so many things. It wasn't just about like Ubah and her boyfriend, but that was one of the things. And that's when Sai was like, yeah, and he's like lives in Connecticut. And I saw these pictures. So that's where she learned this information. And I think the issue, and what I don't think was translated properly on the show was that like Sai was so upset because she broke her trust. Like, it wasn't, yes, she shouldn't have said it. Like, she shouldn't have told us. Like, that's obvious because people are like, why wasn't she more mad at Sai? Like, okay, yes, she shouldn't have spilled the beans. But when you're like close with people, you trust them. Like, you know, we were sitting around taking her out for her birthday, like in a trusting situation. And that's where she like exposed more of the situation. So like for then, and they were really close. So for then, like, you know, for Brynn to just like blurt it out, Sai felt like, are you joking? Like, we are so close. We've been close like throughout filming. And now you just threw me under the bus on camera.
Right.
You know?
Right. And so she was pissed, which we all saw. And now when you explain it that way, I think it makes a lot more sense. Right. And it's like, you understand why everybody is so livid. Because at one point it kind of looks like, well, this isn't fair. If one person has to share their relationship, we all do.
Right.
And Jenna's actually very quiet about her situation as well. Right. She doesn't really want to share too much about what's going on.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, but that's more because like her ex at the time was not willing to
talk. Got it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, all right. So that makes a little bit more sense because that was your whole finale. Talk to me about the reunion. It's filmed already. It's taped already.
The reunion was like a lot of crying.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot. I was like, okay, it's like a Lifetime movie. It was like intense. It was like,
who cried the most? The most tears?
I don't even remember. Like, you know how these days are. It was so long that like I blacked out and I couldn't wait to leave at the end. I was like, get me a drink, get me out of here.
Human torture, but
yes. But I think I kind of kicked it off because one of the questions was just like about my family. And, you know, I grew up with a very unique story and none of it really was shown at all.
Wow.
Whereas everybody else's backstory was very much part of the show, which I understand because they have 42 minutes, like they have to do with, you know, what they have to do. But, you know, I had a kind of a rough summer with a family member that wasn't feeling well. Can you stop, Layla, please?
Yeah. She said yes.
She's like, yeah.
So will we hear about that at the reunion?
Yeah. Like,
okay, good. So we'll get to hear about your family a little bit and what you've gone through. Because we didn't get a lot of the backstory. I do remember meeting your father. I liked him. He looked he was like so sweet.
He's like a big, like cozy bear.
Yes. Okay. So you feel like you didn't get a lot of your backstory, which is probably true. We learned a lot about Bryn. We learned a lot about Ubah. Everybody. Yes.
Everyone except for me. Like somebody was saying the other day, I was just like talking to someone at dinner and they were like, so you're like, how are you so responsible? Like at such a young age and how do you have all these businesses and this and that? And I was like, well, I grew up, you know, with 4 younger siblings. I was the oldest. My dad was a single father. So I'll give you a quick backstory on it. My mom and my dad got divorced when I was 3. My dad got remarried and had 4 kids. And then he became a single father. She's no longer an active parent. She hasn't been for a long time. Wow. So I sort of like was the older sister, but the only female figure for my 4 younger siblings. And I like really took that responsibility seriously. Like my dad would go away on business in high school and I'd like watch my siblings.
Wow.
Like, make them breakfast and wake them up for school, like in high school.
Right. So, and they were your step siblings. No, I mean, they were your half, I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So that just like had a lot to do with why I am the way I am. Like I have all this responsibility because I'm used to it. You know, I just didn't, that's how I grew up.
Wow. That's crazy. So you were their big sister / like mom figure for a lot of things too.
Yeah. I mean, I moved my brothers into college, you know,
wow.
My dad's also like an immigrant. He doesn't know about American college. Like he's like, I'm like, okay, so we have to go to Target and buy them like bedding. And he's like, bedding. He's like, I have it in the house. Take this. Like he doesn't know.
He didn't get it.
He doesn't understand.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Are you close with your birth mother?
My mom is my mom. Yeah. I'm very, very close with her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. But that's because they got a divorce. So your mom is not, I got it.
Yeah. So my mom is like, basically I grew up with a single mother. If you just consider me, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Are you very close with your half siblings?
Very.
Good. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good. Love that. All right. Well, let's talk real quick about women in business, by the way. First of all, you're an interior designer. You're a realtor. Do you do both?
So I have been a real estate agent since I'm 19. I sold 4 new development buildings by the time I was 23. And then I went to NYU for sustainable development. I've been in like real estate construction my whole life. My parents were both like in building and flipping and they own properties. So I like noticed that a lot of my really wealthy clients actually were doing terrible renovations, like ones that were losing them money on like $20 million lofts. They would like renovate them and then not be able to sell them. So I came up with this concept of renovating for my clients, but also for the market. So I do like a lot of market research and I understand the demographic. And that's sort of where I got the idea for my interior design company.
Wow. That's awesome because you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're collecting on both ends.
Yeah.
That's what is your husband? So your husband has nothing to do with this business at all. This is just you?
No, my husband is an entertainment attorney.
Oh, that's right. I think I knew this.
Perfect.
Yes. Well, that really fit the bill for you. You don't have to pay that 5%. That's awesome.
But let me tell you, the reason he is one is because he and I started a handbag business together. We're like serial entrepreneurs. And he was working at Kasowitz, which is a very big law firm for many years. He ended up leaving. I ended up leaving my like new development life. And we started this like fashion business, lost everything. Like wedding money, like
everything.
But it was like the craziest blessing in disguise because he then knew how to be an attorney for startups and entertainers and fashion people. And that's where he, created his business. And I learned how to, do like market research and trend forecasting, which I did for design for interiors. So like it lended itself to new business opportunities.
Which is awesome. You guys are entrepreneurs. It's very similar to Joe and I feel like your husband's the same way. Like if he hears something, he's into it. He wants to talk about it. He would invest, right? Like he's just, yeah. I think Joe and your hubby have actually spoke on the phone a couple of times. I think they text sometimes. We need to set up a dinner all together with everyone. But what I really want to talk to you about is this new alcohol. Wait, you have to tell me about this. First of all, what is the name of it? Explain it to me. Is it tequila? Is it what is this?
So it's mezcal, which is also from agave, but tequila is a type of mezcal, but mezcal is not tequila in the sense that tequila is made from one type of agave plant. Mezcal has many different species of agave. And the main difference that people are starting to catch on to is that tequila does not have to be 100% pure agave, meaning it has a lot of additives. And people don't usually realize that. But oftentimes those will give you a hangover if it has like caramel or vanilla. I mean, they put that's why a lot of them taste caramelly. By Mexican law, mezcal has to be 100% pure agave. And it's also in the way that it's distilled. It's distilled in this like ancient kind of like ritual way that is very different than the way tequila is made. And the reason we started this company is because I guess 10 years ago, we were in Tulum. We fell in love with mezcal. We were like, how is this not mainstream in America? We don't feel like shit the next day. Like, what is happening? Like, how is this not a huge thing? So that's why we named it Mezcalum, because it was born in Tulum. And it's just really pure. And the other sort of idea around the business is that we are trying to promote balance in the alcohol space. So it's not about getting wasted. It's not about being sober. It's about the Tulum lifestyle, which is you can go out and have a spirited night and dance all night and listen to great music. And you can wake up the next day and have a green smoothie or do a yoga class. It's about balance and having a mindful lifestyle, which is one that I live, So.
Wow. Well, that's pretty amazing. And anything that doesn't give you a hangover with tequila-esque sounds. Where can we get it? When can we get it? When are you sending me my first bottle?
It's 0 carbs, 0 sugar. It's really, really, and it tastes so good.
But this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm always rooting for you in this crazy reality world, but I think you're doing an awesome job. I want to be the first to say that I love the Real Housewives of New York. I love the kind of the drama that you guys do without knockdown drag. I actually appreciate it. I think it's so refreshing. And I think a lot of us can learn from you new girls because I really, truly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every second of it.
It's not that it's not that deep.
Yeah. So make sure you guys look out for the new alcohol line here, and we can find you on Instagram. Are you're just your name on Instagram, right?
Just Erin Lichy. So follow along, and I'll let everyone know when we launch Mezcalum.
Yes, can't wait.